I am not okay. I just spent the weekend at the Universal Orlando Resort and I got access to Epic Universe for a team member preview exclusive. I don't know how, but the Universal gods were on my side. I've been praying and hoping that I would be able to secure some tickets to check out Epic Universe. I've been following the journey for Epic Universe since it was just flat ground, since it was just talks of becoming a theme park. I kind of feel like Epic Universe is my baby, my little baby. It's like if Universal and Islands of Adventure just finally gave birth to their baby, and here I am looking at it in its nursery, and I just love it so much. I went with a good friend of mine who's been a team member for Universal for over a decade, so shout out to you, you know who you are. We were able to go in and we had no idea. I had already went in with the mindset that we were not going to be able to film or record or shoot any content, which is okay. There's some vloggers that I follow that talked about the experience where, you know, you get to go in and actually just really take it all in, be exactly where your feet are, and not be so focused on getting the shot or securing, you know, the content. This is a more of an immersive experience where you can actually just take your time and get to see things and really just be in the moment. But when we got there, first thing that we do getting out of the car once we park, walking towards the entry to Epic Universe, to the portal, and they're like, guys, guess what? And we're like, what is it? And they're like, you can use your phone today. And we're like, no way. Like, that's too good to be true. And sure enough, there was this one security guard, super excited, that was shouting out at the top of his lungs, guys, guess what? You can take all the videos, you can film all you want. The park is yours to enjoy. It was a feeling that I can't really even describe in words. It was something that was just so magical for a theme park enthusiast as myself, to be able to just have that experience of them just kind of like letting the park free to us, to the people. You know, they've been having previews all week, and this was like the first time that they were actually allowing guests to take the phones out, because they knew that it was going to launch into the stratosphere of the internet, into social media, into all the platforms. This was going to be like their first look. So we walked into that, the energy was so real, and it was just pouring into every single step that I took forward towards that portal at Epic Universe, and it brought tears to my eyes. If you know me, you know that I wear my heart right here on my sleeves, and I was just a wreck. I had goosebumps everywhere. I was so excited. Stepping into Celestial Park is breathtaking. You can't really describe the feeling when you step in. It's just, you just got to take it all in. You definitely feel transported into a new atmosphere, into a new realm, and it doesn't immediately scream theme park when you step in. It's more of a relaxed experience where you get to see the beautiful landscapes and the water fountains and just how open and airy it feels. It definitely does feel like a true park. I heard online someone say that Epic Universe brought the park back to theme parks, and it is so true. As soon as you walk in there, you definitely do feel that you're in this beautiful open air space. The park feels wonderful. All the restaurants and stores are very detailed and so futuristic, and like the theming and the quality is just top tier. So we quickly ran and made our way over to Monsters Unchained. I'm a super Universal Monsters fan, so I wanted to check out that portal first, simply because I knew that for the rest of the day there could be possibilities of things going down, and I didn't want to miss the opportunity to ride Monsters. My brother went the night before to the preview, and Monsters was down the entire day, so he wasn't able to experience that. And so I wanted to make sure that first things first, we were going to get that one done and ready to go, since it showed that it was available as soon as we got there. As soon as I walk in, it was very hard to contain myself to make it straight to the Dark Universe, because everything along the way was just like, oh, but look at this, and look at that, and look at this. And so it was definitely overload in the best way possible. I just wanted to experience everything, and like, you have to pass Nintendo World in order to get to Dark Universe if you make that first left when you get into the park. So it was definitely challenging to resist the rest of the party so that they didn't run into Nintendo World or anything like that. I had to keep them focused. Theme Park John was in full effect. And so we get to the portal for Dark Universe, and there's a really cool photo op in front of every single portal. Universal has really done a great job at providing like a really good guest experience. So in front of every portal, there's a beautiful photo opportunity that you can get the nice backdrop of the portal and then make your way inside. Dark Universe, as soon as you step in, you are teleported into this dark nature, and it is beautiful. Everything around you looks so grunge and dark and mysterious, and it just feels like HHN to the 10th power. I kept on saying that I cannot believe that we're gonna have like a 365-day spooky, dark, Universal experience. I have been waiting my entire life, it feels like, for this, because it's just genius. It's so good, and they did such a great job. Shout out to everyone in the Universal creative family. You guys just knocked it out of the park. There's a really cool interactive violinist that plays, and he tells a story, and it's very immersive because they pick people in the audience that are watching and give them names and characters, so you're fully dived in. As my entire party was watching this violinist, I felt like something from the side, like just looking at me, like watching me. And so I turn over and I look, and it is the Invisible Man, like coming down from this like staircase. It's very creepy, and there wasn't a lot of people. We had gotten there right at rope drop, so we were like right in there. There wasn't a lot of other people to kind of distract this experience, so I knew that it was something that was happening with me and the Invisible Man. And so I clock him, I see him looking at me. I pull out my phone because it was just too good. I literally felt like a director in a movie filming a scene. It was just incredible, and I needed to capture it. And I tried to get everyone in my party to pay attention to the fact that he was there, but they were so focused on the experience that they were going through with the violinist and the story. And so I kind of took a step away, and I just kept on like playing this game with him back and forth, where he knew I was filming him, he knew he was watching me, and we were just doing this game and this dance. And I wanted to make my way over there, but I want to go with my entire party so that they can experience this as well. In the meantime, I go back to the story and I dive back into where I left off, and the violinist is playing all these beautiful like songs and melodies to go in with the story. It was just so much happening. It was so good to just allow yourself to be there, which really shows me that you can spend so much time in these lands once you go in through this portal. So even though the land only has like 2 attractions, like which is Monsters Unchained and Curse of the Werewolf, there's still so much that you can experience between the bars and the dining experiences, and then also all of the actors and everything else that's there. You truly can spend hours upon hours in each individual land and have a wonderful experience. As soon as we get to the front of Monsters Unchained, it was delayed for a moment at opening, so we decided to run to Curse of the Werewolf. It only had like a 5-minute wait time. So we go to Curse of the Werewolf, and this experience was just amazing. I didn't know how thrilling it was going to be. I have seen a lot of footage of like the ride and its inception and the concept. I've seen a lot of the renderings, but to see it in person, it was just incredible. The ride itself is so fun. The story is very clear. You know, when you get off the ride after the experience, I was telling everyone in my party, we have officially become werewolves. That's the whole point, you know, you're on that ride, and once you get that scratch from the werewolf, you now are a werewolf who is let off into the wild to explore the rest of the Dark Universe. That ride was incredible, and probably the best way to start our day. Everyone was super pumped after that. The ride is really thrilling, it's really fun, and it's unique, and it's just so good. Right after that, we checked, and Monsters Unchained was open, so we joined the queue and we got on. It was only like about a 30-minute wait, and this is at preview, so obviously we were super fortunate and lucky to experience that. The queue in Monsters Unchained is amazing. It is like a movie in itself as you walk through it, going up those stairs, seeing all the characters, Victoria and Dracula, all of her findings and her research throughout all of the rooms and the offices, the details, It's incredible. There are so many little Easter eggs throughout the whole queue. The ride in itself, I won't give out any spoilers because I really would like for you guys to experience it and enjoy it. It is beautiful. There is so much to look at, so much that happens. It's very thrilling and exciting. I was anticipating it being a little bit more scarier. I know that a lot of people are comparing it to Forbidden Journey. When Forbidden Journey first opened, before they did any modifications, because I know that there was a point where people were complaining about it being a little too spooky for the kids, and so I think Universal kind of put some of the Dementors and the spiders and all those things, they kind of put them on pause and left them kind of at a stationary position so that they wouldn't like come out too much. You can still see it if you ride Forbidden Journey, you see them in the backgrounds, like kind of like in those areas, but they're not as in your face as they once were when the ride first opened. When I first experienced Forbidden Journey, I was terrified in the best way because I didn't know what to expect. I've never ridden anything like that. And so when I got on the ride, I was excited, I was scared, I was fully lost in that world. They did an amazing job with the movements. They're very fluid. They do a really good job at kind of keeping your eyes where they wanted to go while you're riding it. So that was a great job. The animatronics on this ride are incredible, so lifelike. They do such a good integration between screen and animatronic that you kind of lose sight of what's real and what's not. And if that's a real person or that's an animatronic or that's a screen, it was so good. I thoroughly enjoyed that ride, and probably it made itself to one of the top 3 rides out of the whole experience for me. I can't wait to get on it again and to see all the things that I missed the first time and to count how many monsters there were, because I try to keep track, but at a certain point I lost track of how many monsters I was catching or how many monsters Victoria already had unleashed in her manner. But it was definitely an incredible experience, and Igor is so good. I need more of Igor. So actually, speaking of Igor, I have seen footage from other influencers and vloggers that have posted him. He was actually out the Dark Universe connecting and interacting with people, and I missed him. So I didn't get a chance to see that, but I know that when I get back, I'm definitely gonna look out for Igor because he is funny. Both of the attractions in Dark Universe, we stepped into the Burning Blade Tavern. When you step in front of that Burning Blade Tavern and it catches that fire and just that wheel goes around and around, it is so magical, and I cannot wait to experience that at nighttime when I can get the full grasp of like the big roaring fire that comes out of that wheel. Oh, it is incredible. Once the doors open to the Burning Blade Tavern, you're instantly hit with one of the villagers from the land who is right away greeting you and coming up to you to kind of like give you a forewarning, checking out no bites, no scratches, and it's very like just in your face, and it is right away putting you back into the mindset that you're not just walking around a theme park. You're part of the experience. You're part of this scene that's happening. We head over to the bar, which is fully decorated and themed. Super cool. There's so much to pay attention to in the background. Get into it. They have wonderful spirits and a really cool drink. The drink that we got was called the Pure of Heart, and it comes with this little experience. Super delicious, very tasty, and actually quite strong. I only had one, but I didn't eat anything as well, and I was already feeling like a little nice. Dark Universe, 10 out of 10 for me. After we left the Dark Universe, we made our way over to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter for the Ministry of Magic. We were super excited to check it out. Once you walk through that portal, you are transported into the 1920s in Paris. When I tell you that it does not feel like you are in the middle of Central Florida. It is so beautiful and so well themed that you really do feel like you are in the middle of Paris. I loved everything about this place, and at that moment in the day, I was so excited, and it was so overwhelming that there was so much that I know that I missed because I was just so like overload. I cannot wait to explore this land again. The Ministry of Magic ride was down. And I know that for some of the previews, they were allowing team members to walk through the queue, but that was closed because they were doing like the media stuff. And unfortunately, I didn't get my media badge that day. I don't know what happened, but yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. We did get to experience Le Cirque Arcanus, which was an incredible show. As soon as you walk in, you're walking into like these little tiny red tents, and as you take steps forward and forward and forward to the queue, it's just this massive auditorium that you walk into. The pre-show is incredible. The show is fantastic. They do such a wonderful job at like blending the worlds. There's like this really special magical moment that happens in the show that took my breath away. I don't want to give any spoilers, but definitely check out the show at Le Cirque Arcanus. It is divine. I love it so much. After we left the Ministry of Magic, we stepped into Celestial Park again, and we were really hungry at this point. And there's so many options for us to dine with, so I kind of convinced everyone in the group to check it out. And we went over to Pizza Moon. They have so many incredible pizzas, and the ambiance and the decor and the theming inside of Pizza Moon is amazing. They really do a nice job at also taking away the experience of having to order at the window or having to order with a teller. Everything is pretty much digitalized. You place your order, you make your way over to the table, you scan a QR code to put in the information for your table number, and then everything gets delivered to your table. It was seamless. It was a very smooth transition, a very smooth process, and I'm really excited because it takes away the waiting of everything, and I really hope that the system works out really well, because it does change the vibe for the theme park food dining experience. If you're in a big party, there's no need for any individual to just get one pie for themselves. It is a pretty big pizza that comes out, and we wound up having so much extra at the table because each of us ordered our own pizza. One of the pizzas that I remember that was amazing was the Nana Rosa. That pizza was really, it was a hit at the table. Two of the people in our party ordered it, and that was great. I ordered like the classic pepperoni. I'm just a pepperoni cheese guy. Like, that was it. The pizza was incredible. I loved it. I shared one slice, but I was able to eat the whole thing. But I was hungry, so I was gonna eat that. But if you are considering going with a group of people, share it. You can share one pie would be good to share with like 2 people, or if you guys just want to get a couple of pizzas for the middle and then everybody just pick and choose some slices. They do have some incredible meatballs that I actually missed out on that I wanted to order, so next time I'm definitely gonna get that. But there's just so much to choose from, and they have some really dope desserts that I didn't get a chance to order neither, but I will definitely get that on the next time, so stay tuned for that update. Next up, we visited How to Train Your Dragon's Isle of Berk. Out of all the portals, the first initial view that you get when you step into Isle of Berk is breathtaking. It is very wide and massive, and the forced perspective really does make you feel like you're somewhere else. It's very open, it's very airy, it's very colorful. The kids are gonna love this land so much. There's so much to do. There's a lot of interactive areas. There's dragons everywhere. And again, keeping up with the vibe of what Epic Universe is providing, they have a lot of actors that are walking around that keep you kind of like locked into where you're at. You know, the portal that you walked into is keeping you locked into that land, and it's so immersive and it's so fun and interactive. There was so many areas that I was seeing all these little interactions with groups and the Vikings, and there's a meet and greet with the one and only Toothless, and that moment where every kid is gonna just put their hand out and Toothless is just gonna give them that gentle nudge. We were able to experience Hiccup's Wing Gliders, which was incredible. It was such a good ride, very smooth. It's catered to the younger crowd, obviously, because of, you know, How to Train Your Dragons, but it has enough speed and packs a punch where you kind of are like, it's thrilling. It's definitely like not just a kiddie ride. It's one of those rides that are definitely must do. Such a good ride, and you get a good opportunity to kind of go through the whole entire land. And you know, you're kind of soaring right above the waters. It's incredible. I really did enjoy that ride. Out of all of the rides in Isle of Berk, that's definitely number 1 on my list and a must do when you get there. The show for the Untrainable Dragon, I literally started like crying during the show. It is so special and fun and unique. It's definitely a show that you cannot miss when you go check it out. Untrainable Dragon, check it out and you're gonna thank me for that. Well, the next ride that we did was the Dragon Racers Rally. My brother had gave me a little bit of a challenge because he was not able to do it on the day that he rode it. Tried to do a barrel roll on the Dragon Racers Rally. So I'm like, okay, challenge accepted. And when I got there, I was definitely almost completely into a full barrel roll, but I just needed a little bit more time to get the full scope of it, and the ride was over before I was able to do that. So I don't know if that's because of preview, if they were doing like a shorter ride, but I definitely need to go back and experience it again so that I could get that barrel roll and check it off my list. Next up, we did the fire drill experience. Now I know that this ride was designed to be like Rough Nut and Tough Nut created this fire drill for you to practice and shoot the targets. And so I was really excited about it, and I wanted to see how the water element would work. When I sat down immediately, we were like storing our goods away before, just so that they wouldn't get wet or anything like that. And we got soaked immediately because the boat that went up before us were shooting their targets, but they get like, there's a small window in between shooting your target and shooting another boat that you can actually get them. And we were soaked before we even put anything away. And so we sat down and we tried to, get the vibe going of getting all the targets and everything. The water does take a second to pump. After you pull your lever, it shoots out and you can get to the target, but then it needs a moment to kind of like cycle up and fill up again before you can pull it again. So it's a slow moving ride, and the targets are there. There aren't many directions as to what you would do with these targets. Like I did see some of the targets that we were hitting did cause things to happen within the target scope of what you're shooting, but it wasn't super clear, and I can see how it can get a little confusing. And because of the slow moving pace and not being able to really like control all of the water, there are some kinks that maybe have to get worked out on that ride. But overall, I enjoyed it. I think it was really nice to get that refreshing breeze and get hit with the water, get wet, and I think that kids will really enjoy it as well. I wish that there was another opportunity for us to get the boat that soaked us, get them back, so that it's more of like a challenge between the ships. But hey, they got us good, so we just had to pay it forward. And the next time that we passed that area, we got people that were loading up as well. So the last portal that we decided to go into was Super Nintendo World. Now, I have watched a lot of content on Super Nintendo World in California and Japan, so I kind of already knew what to expect with this experience, but not even with that expectation, walking in and actually seeing it with your own eyes, there's nothing that could really ever prepare you for that. It's such a breathtaking view. It's so striking, it's so big, it's so colorful, it's very alert and alive. There's so much music and so many things moving around you that you just instantly feel that you're gonna strap that power band and go crazy and just play all the games. We definitely did get a really good experience by going to Donkey Kong Country, which was incredible. I love the little mini transformation walking through that portal to Donkey Kong Country, which is super cool. It's so fun. It's very colorful. There's a lot of things happening. The Minecart Madness is probably in all of the land my favorite ride. It is so good. It is so fun, and the illusion if you get like a cart that's in the front, which I was lucky enough to get, the illusion of how the track jumps from thing to like it's such a mind-boggling experience. It is so fun to be able to see the tracks kind of like hop over it, the sound effects that come into play. If you do a POV video on YouTube of it, you're not going to get the full experience. You have to experience it yourself, because there's so many different elements within sound and lighting and all these different things that just really give you the full experience of your cart jumping over the tracks, of jumping from the left to the right. It was so incredible, and it's actually really fast, really fun, and I really enjoyed that ride. I'm so excited about it. The Mario Kart experience, it took some people in my group a little bit of an adjustment to get the hat on properly. Some people found that it was too big and they needed to adjust it, so it was just like something that they were uncomfortable with. But if you can finesse that before getting on the ride, you're golden. You need to make sure that the Mario hat is secure, so that when you put on the VR glasses, it's leveled with your eyes, and as long as you get all of those elements lined up correctly, you can have a wonderful experience on this ride. I'm super competitive. I'm a super big fan of like Men in Black, so I always want to try to get the highest score in my group. I was gonna win. Unfortunately, I didn't win. Someone else in my group beat me by 1 point, so now we need to go back and have another rematch to see if I can take my crown back. That ride is really fun, and at first I thought I wasn't gonna enjoy that ride too much because watching POV videos, it's very slow moving, and I'm like, this is Mario Kart. You would think that you're gonna be going fast and doing all these things, but when you're actually riding it, the combination of the VR with the theming of the whole ride, it does actually give you the vibe and the feel that you are moving at a fast pace, even though your cart is not moving that fast. You allow yourself to kind of get lost in the magic of the ride, and you can definitely feel like when I was on Rainbow Road, I was zooming, I was gliding, I was hitting everything, and I love the aspect of the shooting the other carts in front of you, all the other players and the other characters. Super fun ride. I definitely enjoyed that as well. And I also did the Yoshi experience. That ride is very nice. It's very chill. It kind of gives like People Mover vibes where you can just, like, you know, take a moment to kind of pause and take in the scenery. However, it is short. I thought it was going to be a longer experience, but it was actually pretty quick. I went around the whole thing very fast, and I would have thought that that experience would have been a little longer, but nonetheless, it's still good. It was a very nice ride and a nice break in the day, especially if you're using your power-up band and you're running around doing all the games and collecting all the coins and all the interactive experiences. We didn't get the power-up band this time because I know that when I do get that, I'm gonna be locked into Super Nintendo World for a few hours, and we only had a couple of hours to experience the whole Epic universe. So I wanted to make sure that we got a little bit of everything within the time frame. This sweater right here is my good luck charm. So I was at the Universal Orlando property like about 2 weeks ago. I went to Volcano Bay, and I stopped at the preview center and I picked up this sweater, and before I purchased it, I said, Universal gods, hear my prayers. I was like, please allow this sweater to bring me access to the team member preview so that I can get into Epic Universe and see this beauty before my eyes. I've been visiting theme parks since I was 5 years old, so that's well over like 30 something years that I got. I know I just aged myself, but it's okay. We won't get into the details about all of that. But I've been doing this for a very, very long time. But I haven't never stepped into the vlogging experience. All these amazing vloggers that I've been watching for years, like I get a lot of information from all you guys, so thank you so much. You don't even know how much joy you bring to me on a day-to-day. I'm stepping into this world. Like, my perspective not only comes from the experience that I have going to the parks, but the passion and the love that I have for theme parks and for entertainment and for things that are essentially just catered to providing people with joy and happiness. That is what I'm all about. Like, the things that you will experience here on this channel, Vibes by John, is essentially going to be just that. Things that are going to bring you to a place that are going to tap into your heart, tap into your joy, feed your soul. One thing that I came up with when I was visiting Epic Universe recently was that theme parks in general all cater to one thing, and that is the inner child. A lot of times adults go to these theme parks because they're feeding and nourishing the soul of their inner child, and they're tapping into the imagination. And for me, that is what I love to do day to day. That is what I love to bring to people. I love to bring that joy and excitement. For me, theme parks, Universal specifically, that's just my home away from home. I want it to be a very collaborative experience. My channel, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you want to see. I want to hear what information you want to know about, and I want to show you guys things in a very unique and creative way. If you are interested in joining me on this journey, I would appreciate it. You can like, comment, follow, subscribe, do all the things that you're supposed to do on all the platforms. I plan to dive very, very deep into this. This has been on my bucket list for years, and now I'm taking action. Stop talking about it, and I'm gonna be about it. And as always, I'm gonna give you the vibes by John. Let's keep this conversation going, and anything that you would like to know more about, anything that you would like to see, or anything that you would like to experience on this channel, feel free to comment below. And as always, love and light.